Good morning, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video today. So finally, Stackable Clues are here July 2nd, 2025. This is actually so big for the game. Let's hop right into it. Alright, so they're finally here. Stackable Clue Scrolls. This long-awaited update gives you clue-chasing adventurers more flexibility as you dig, scan, print, and puzzle your way across Gielinor. So let's walk through what's new. So, the scroll box. If anyone has ever played any of the leagues, you should be fairly familiar with how the scroll box works, but let's see how they changed it for the normal game. So anyone who's completed the X marks the spot will no longer receive traditional clue scroll drop. So I guess that is a requirement to do that like 5-minute quest. Instead, you'll get shiny new scroll boxes. Functionally the same as clue scrolls, but with one game-changing twist. They stack. So, previously you could only ever get one and you had to drop them, complete the other one to actually start it. So now they stack, which is huge. Okay, so no more choosing between slaying and finishing your hard clue. This is something that was always kind of frustrating to me. You'd get, say, a Hellhound's task. You'd go there, 5 kills in, you get a clue scroll, and then you have to go do it. Maybe you have a wilderness step, you have to deposit everything you're wearing, and then kind of gear up again, go back, and maybe 2 or 3 kills later you get it. It feels like you're never going to finish your Slayer task, so a lot of the times I would just leave them on the ground. So no more accidentally missing out on the elite from the TOB because some sneaky little blighter was hiding out back in the chaotic abyss of your bank. So with scroll boxes, you can you can collect now and clue later as long as you haven't hit your stack limit. So here's where it's going to change a little bit with the stack limit, but that is another huge thing if you are doing, say, TOB, any of the raids, right? And you have a big group of people. Sorry guys, I got to stop and do my clue, and then it just kind of messes everything up, right? And then you kind of have to wait for them or find a new teammate. And also what they were saying here is you could have one like hiding in your bank, right, that you may not know about, and then all of a sudden you could have got an extra one, but you're like, oh, why am I not getting an elite? Because there is one in your bank. So each box holds a scroll of the same tier, and you can only be opened if you don't already have an active clue of that tier sitting in your inventory or bank. If you do, the box won't open. So you can have them in the scroll box, and then when you finish the actual clue, you can open it and receive your other clue. Very interesting. I really like this mechanic. So if you haven't completed X marks the spot, you'll still receive regular non-stackable clue scrolls, so that classic old school treasure hunting experience remains alive. And well, for new or lower level players. This includes geodes from mining, nests from woodcutting, bottles from fishing, etc. So those of you who have completed the quest will get a shiny new scroll boxes from wherever you usually get your clue scrolls. Very cool. So stack limits and a sneaking suspicion. So scroll boxes are stackable, but there are still limits. So each clue tier has a cap on how many boxes or scrolls you can hold at once. This cap starts at 2 per tier by default after X marks the spot. So we're already going to be able to do 2, which is very nice, rather than just 1. And then can be farther increased to a maximum of 5 by consuming new items called scroll cases. So scroll boxes and clue scrolls share this cap. For example, if you've got 2 easy scrolls in your bank and you roll a drop for a third, you'll get a familiar message. You have a sneaky suspicion that you would have received I hate this message so much. It's like, I know I should do my clues. So if you try and pick up a stack of scroll boxes from the floor while at your current limit, you'll be met with the following message. Some of your scroll boxes were destroyed as you have too many of that tier. Yikes. Okay, so however, it's still possible to receive multiple scroll boxes at once, so long as they're from different tiers. For example, getting both an easy and a medium scroll box while fishing. Additionally, if you're worried about wasting impling jars, fear not. If you're at your clue cap for a tier and you open a jar, you'll now get a cap warning to help avoid wastage. Jar responsibility. That's very nice for those people who spend millions and millions on these to try and get the clues. Oh, it looks so good that they're just stacking in the main game and it's not a league. Okay, so scroll case upgrade. So want to raise your stack limit and hoard some clues like a pro clue chaser? One way of accomplishing that is to earn yourself some scroll cases. So there are two main types of scroll cases. So minor scroll cases earned after completing a set number of clues for a tier, and a major scroll case awarded at higher completion milestones. Okay. So this looks like a scroll case, minor beginner scroll case. Okay, so it's a new thing you actually get. So each one increases your scroll cap by a +1 permanently for that specific tier. That is very cool. So here is a breakdown with the number of required clue completions. So it looks like completions required for minor scroll case. Okay, so beginner 50. And then completions required for a major is 100. Okay. So it looks like they're all different for all the different tiers, right? So scroll cases turn up in your clue scroll reward once you've completed the required number of clues for a given tier. To unlock an extra clue capacity, simply click the scroll case and consume it. So this is good because some players will be like, I want to keep it old school and not consume this. So it's kind of interesting how they did make it a consumable rather than just a permanent unlock. And here we go. It looks like they've added them to the collection log. There's 13 that you can get. So already hit the required number of clues before this update. In that case, you'll receive the +1 capacity on login, and the scroll cases will be added to your collection log. Very cool. So if you already had this, I guess you auto unlock it, but new 13 collection log slots. Very, very cool. So from then on, if you receive a scroll case but misplace or bank it before using it, don't worry, it will reappear in your next clue scroll reward, ready to be consumed and boost your cap. So besides earning scroll cases, the other way of increasing your stack limit is through beating the Mimic boss, something I actually haven't done yet, and I'm maxed. Don't make fun of me, that's crazy. Which will earn you the Mimic scroll case, which bumps your clue capacity across all tiers by 1, so I definitely need to do that. If you've already beaten the Mimic boss before this update, the Mimic scroll case will retroactively be added, similar to how clue completions retroactively are rewarded. So a few extra things to note. So clue completions from before this update count towards your scroll case unlocks. Yeah, because people would be pissed if they'd done like 2,000 hards or something. You can't cheese the scroll box cap by dropping boxes on the floor. You can't juggle clue scrolls by dropping them on the floor and picking up another clue scroll. Or sorry, you still can juggle. Okay, I was going to say they already got rid of that. That's crazy. Yeah, you can still juggle clues for people who want to do that, which is good. And free-to-play players can earn and use beginner scroll cases, while higher tier upgrades remain members only content. I like that they're also adding free-to-play, kind of a little bit of this update into free-to-play. It's always good. Okay, I want to see this in game actually and sort of what it looks like. Look at collection log. We got the hard scroll case. Oh, we got another collection log. Where do we actually go to see this collection log? I'm assuming it will be in other. What does it look like? What does it look like? I'll find it. Oh, you know what? It's probably in clues, dumbass. Scroll case is right here. Okay, so we've got 2 of them. That's it? That's crazy. We've only got 2 of them. So I don't know if it'll show us here. So it looks like we can hold, what, 2 hards, and that's it. Okay, thanks, Jagex. Okay, so Waston's board. So with all these new scroll caps, boxes, and upgrades, you're probably wondering, how do I keep track of all of this? Exactly, right? So, well, old reliable Watson is on the case. So if you've unlocked scroll boxes from X marks the spot, remember, the treasure trails board in his house now shows your clue completion totals per tier, your current scroll box capacity per tier, and whether or not you've obtained the Mimic Scroll case. So as you can see, this is sort of what it will look like. So treasure trails completed 0 for everything, crazy. And then scroll box capacities, so beginner 3, blah blah blah, Mimic Scroll case obtained. So this guy's for some reason on tier 3 of everything, but has never completed a clue. Crazy. So if you haven't unlocked the scroll box system yet, the board will just show completions like before. So that's a wrap on the clue scroll update. Stack your scrolls, raise your caps, defeat the mimic, and show those caskets who's boss. May your puzzles be quick, your coordinates close, and your rewards finally full of that blasted third age piece. They'll be very quick if you're using Runelite, right? I would never do a puzzle without Runelite. I'm just saying that right now. But yeah, overall, honestly, a very good update. Is going to make people go out of their way now to do clue scrolls. As you can see, I only had the hards completed. There's a reason for that, because you'd only do one at a time, right? So back when I was like, you know, grinding and stuff and like going for max and starting out the game, I'm like, beginner clue scroll, this is going to give me nothing. Why would I do that, right? But now they stack, you can do them. Very good overall. Okay, so mobile survey. So earlier this week, we asked for your experience of old school RuneScape on mobile. We want to know what content is your go-to on mobile, as well as which content you avoid and why. Okay, so I'm going to just say this right now. For me, mobile I used a lot during the league when I was like really no life in the game, right? And other than that, just AFK personally, like fishing, or pretty much that's all I've done. Fishing, maybe a little bit of wood cutting on mobile. Personally, I know people are insane and do like the Inferno on mobile and whatever, but I don't know. I'd rather be on PC to do something like bossing or even Slayer, right? Personally, I mean, I do have a pretty big phone now, but maybe if I had, say, like an iPad or a big tablet, it would be different. But to me, it's just not the same experience. But I do understand that people love mobile, but that's just my personal opinion. Plus, we're asking for your thoughts on some of the community's most requested updates or fixes. We want to stress here that we're doing this for research purposes, and the suggestions within the survey aren't necessarily things we can do either now or in the future. It's good for us to understand what you guys are asking for. Yeah, overall, I like mobile and I wish I was better at it, and it's crazy to me that some people can do bosses and stuff, but personally, I'm not that talented. Okay, so other changes. So earlier this spring, we rebalanced Castle Wars crates because minigames where players can essentially set their own reward rates just can't be allowed to remain overly profitable. A similar adjustment was overdue for Soul Wars, Spoils of War. That changes here at last. For this, we've taken a similar approach within the Castle Wars update. So Spoils of War now includes some blighted supplies, and the Castle Wars specific ammo has been replaced with Pure Essence. But the overall GP value per crate has been significantly reduced. So pet hunters, fear not, the pet rate remains unchanged, so your time to obtain the Lil Creator will be the same as it always has been. So shortly after today's game update, we'll be working on a hotfix to address an issue where Cerberus Key Master teleport scrolls aren't dropping. Apologies for this one and for how long it's taken us to get it sorted. Oh, this is funny. Look, other changes include the Steel Ring now gives a plus 24 defense bonus up from a plus 2, okay, alongside a plus 24 stab and slash defense bonuses. Tazars now have a 40% weakness to water spells. The Giant Rock and Black Demon in Nightmare Zone now have the same elemental weakness as their quest variants. When spam clicking to feed Duke, you won't use more than 2 potions. No more deleting your stack while Duke's already waking up. Speaking of stacks, Duke's potions and mushrooms are now stackable. Enjoy the inventory space. I believe they were in the league, I could be wrong. You can now left click to feed Duke ground mushrooms. Baboon Shamans now have 40 hit points, and Cursed Baboons now have 20 hit points. Thralls in the Kefri room no longer count towards the Arcane Scarab hit count, causing it to move. So the Soul Flame Horn can no longer be used to start a skilling cycle. That's funny. The keys from Obar and Prifddinas are now more common, dropping at a rate of 1 in 16 instead of a rate of 1 in 32. The newly added cooldown for Prifddinas' Growthling spawn should now be more consistent. You can now one-shot Prifddinas' Growthlings if you have an Axe or Magic Secateurs equipped. Monster Inspect now requires 2 body runes and 2 mind runes to cast instead of 2 cosmic and 2 mind runes. That is a very, very good change. Who the hell, when they're that low of a level and they're trying to inspect a cow, has cosmic runes? It was just kind of a stupid requirement. That is much better. Corrected grammar in the Gauntlet's lobby. Removed a repeated message from Sir Tiffany's dialogue. Fixed typos in the Black Knight's Fortress quest journal. Fixed typos regarding Schnelms, and the inspect option on the Jewel of Amasket now shows a picture of the correct jewel. Very cool. Oh, also right here, fixed a bug where magic special attacks weren't working correctly against flying enemies. And it looks like they have some stuff here that is going to be happening next week, which is very cool if you want to take a look at that, but we will obviously be covering it next week anyways. But yeah, honestly, some pretty damn good updates in this week. The Stackable Clue scrolls are finally here, so yeah, I was actually going to be doing some Slayer today, hopefully knocking out some Araxor, so maybe we'll stack up a couple of hard clues and do them. I'm very interested to see how this is going to work. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video today. Let me know down in the comments below if you are excited for this update, if you hate it, and other than that, yeah, smash the like button, and if you watch the whole video, comment scroll cases. Appreciate it as always. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.